that's true. Naked Palpatine.
Oh, you pick that one. Fresh out of the clone tank, nude Palpatine is my
Well, that's the first thing I think of when you say Dark Empire Palpatine.
Hello everybody, I need a weapon, and welcome back to the Halo Expanded Universe. Never did buy Disney, I'm just kidding. I have for you something that was originally 6 episodes, it's now just compiled as one movie, and you can watch it for free right now on YouTube. Just look it up, it's called, the title of this video, Halo Forward Unto Dawn, which was basically, it was a 6-part like series that was meant to be a big giant ad for Halo 4. Because, of course, all the Halo stuff prior used a lot of live-action trailers. Like Halo ODST had a live-action trailer. Halo Reach had a live-action trailer. And I think Halo 3 did too. I don't think Halo 1 did. But I think Halo... I don't know if Halo 2 did either. But I know Halo 3, ODST, Reach, they all did. So they wanted to keep that kind of going. But they decided to make a series out of it, and now it's kind of just this movie. But so Forward Unto Dawn is basically just one big giant ad for Halo 4. It's a very low budget thing. So how was it? It's actually great. Like, my only complaints, and these are me going out of my way to nitpick, just so I don't seem like a little Halo writer, you know, just like everything's perfect. There's a lot of slow-mo. I think the slow-mos are kind of stupid. I'm not going to rag on the CGI or anything, because it was a super low budget, and considering the budget they had, they still did a pretty good job. So the slow-mo is my one issue, and that's like it. That's basically it. Slow-mo is like the worst thing about this is there's a lot of slow-mo things. That's about it for me. Also, the camera shots, whenever it's like a physical fight scene, like it's very close up, because obviously, well, it's not like John Wick. There's not people actually fighting, so there's a lot of close-ups so you can actually see it because it's not actually happening. But that's just a trick that you have to use when you don't have the time to actually do that. And I'm not gonna, because they took the time to actually teach them how to do like military like drills and salutes and all that stuff. So I mean, they took the time to know the basics of stuff. But this whole story follows Lasky. Now, of course, at the end of Halo 3, we will lose a particular fan favorite kind of like side character. So Halo 4 introduces us to someone who I think is just as iconic and cool, but for different reasons. They're not as brash, they're not as big and strong and awesome and amazing and I'm the cool guy. But there's this sincerity and just kind of warmth you get from this character. This kind of like bro that you get in Halo 4 with this guy Lasky, who you meet and are friends with. And this is kind of the backstory to his character. And this is set... The reason I'm doing this review now is because this is set during the Human Covenant War. In fact, John, Master Chief, is 15 in this story. Just like he is in the 2 Troy Denning books, the Silent Storm and Oblivion. He is 15 here. But first, we just focus on Lasky and some of his friends, and some of his not-so-friends, but his time at this academy. And, the first hour, we really just spend time with these kids. But it's acted well. I don't think any of these kids acted badly. I think they all did a sufficient job. We even got the girl from Narnia in here, Susan. Like, that was crazy to me. And they all give a really good performance. And we spend time with these characters. We learn to care about these characters. And then the ODSTs drop. This is not a drill. And then the Covenant show up. And the ships look pretty decent, considering. And then everything goes to hell. And then we get our finale. And maybe Master Chief shows up. But the thing is, it works. Because even though it's low budget, it uses the special effects well. It's usually in the dark, which, fair enough. But at the same time, they make a really cool Master Chief suit. and you care about the stakes because you've spent time and done the proper job of writing and doing a character piece to actually make you care about these kids. So when stuff hits the fan, you care. And, this may be about teenagers, but don't think that just because they're teenagers, that every single person in this movie is making it out okay. Obviously, Lasky must, because, well, he's in Halo 4. But that does not mean everybody in this movie that you watch is going to make it. And normally, if this was written badly, you just wouldn't care. But because this series, these 6 episodes or whatever, are written so well, you do legitimately care about most of these kids. I mean, some more than others, but regardless, it doesn't feel nice to see any of them die. And that's done really well. And it really shows the horror of the Covenant from an average person's perspective. Not from Master Chief, the big and strong guy who can take bullets to the chest and keep shooting. A regular person. A kid with no armor, no nothing, just them. And it's wonderful. It is a great backstory for Lasky. It is a great expansion to the lore. It even mentions an insurrectionist from the books, and it is overall, I think, a fantastic thing. And here's the kicker, right? Because at the moment of recording, Halo Season 2 is coming out by Paramount, which has way more money given to it than this little short film 6-part episode thing did. And yet the heart, the soul in this little budget film with these kids is significantly more impactful and more meaningful than 2 seasons of television with a really big budget. I won't lie, I teared up near the end. Now, maybe I'm not one to say such things. I'm not really a dude, bro. I don't cry. Men don't cry. I cry not often, because that sounds lame, but if a scene is done well, it can move me. Maybe not bawling my eyes out, but I'll tear up a little bit. I'm not I'm John. I'm not allowed to have emotions. I have them. It's okay. But, not everything does that for me, and this did. So that was pretty great. So I just, it's incredible what they managed to do with this compared to what we've been given. And yes, the Halo TV show, I don't want to make this a Halo TV show bashing. If you enjoy it, great. But it's just, to me, there could be so much more of this. Or we'll talk about it later, but Halo Legends, the anime short film collection. What we could have, as compared to what we were being given, the emotional beats that could hit our hearts and make us feel emotionally connected to these characters, as opposed to what we're getting in the TV show, to me is a disappointment. And people that don't play the games, don't read the books, are going to watch that show and think, that's Halo, and it's not. I don't go into anything hoping for it to be bad. I want it to be good, but you watch stuff like this with all the heart, soul, and passion put into it, and you can't help but be disappointed. Especially with the low budget that they had for this, and they still made something compelling and worth your time. So do I recommend it? Hell yeah, you don't have to pay for it. You can watch it for free right after watching this video. I'll even leave a link in the description. What's your excuse now? Go watch it. Prove me wrong. Maybe you won't like it as much as me. I guarantee you, though, you'll like it a little bit. If you've been disappointed with the Halo show, or you've only played the games, want to get into something a little bit more, this is for you. Go for it. Enjoy. You're welcome. I'm gonna get to spoilers now. If you don't want that, time to bail. In fact, while you're bailing, you should go watch it. Come back. All right. See you. I only have a couple things. There's a nice intro. We get to see all the kids talking about why they're here. Lasky says, my brother's a soldier, my mom's a soldier in the UNSC, and we're here to learn how to kill people. And you can tell that Lasky clearly doesn't like that. Because right now is the time of the insurrectionists. The Contact Harvest happened a little bit before this, but the thing with Contact Harvest is that it was meant to be kept on the down low, with really heavy confidential. That's classified. So the whole world doesn't know about the Covenant yet. I mean, eventually they will, because they'll start attacking everything, and everyone will know that the Covenant's a thing. But right now, it's still not small enough, but the galaxy is a big place, so it's kept quiet enough right now that not everybody knows that that's a thing. So, Lasky's talking about, like, yeah, we come here to learn to kill people. And he's not really a big fan of the whole insurrectionist versus the UNSC conflict. He feels like there should be a peaceful solution, that he doesn't like that this is what he has to do. Another kid is kind of antagonistic toward Lasky. Talks about, my father came here. I was always going to end up coming here. I was meant to be here. This is always planned for me. And we just get a little bit of characterization for all of these kids before the intro. We get to see Lasky as an adult. Doesn't really look like Lasky in the games, but that's okay. Getting ready, listening to some message from Cortana. It's like literally right before Halo 4, and then it cuts back to the past. And in that intro, too, we get to see a little bit more of Cortana's rampancy, as we see her sitting there, be like, what do I do? I don't know. We should kill him. I don't know. I've been sitting here for a really long time. I don't know. Stop. We need to help him. And it's just, this is the reason why AIs aren't supposed to exist beyond 7 years. But Lasky has such a moral dilemma with this whole concept of fighting the insurrectionists, and everybody's like, you just need to get on board with it. Stop questioning orders, just do it. And, when somebody says, the girl from the Narnia, she's like, you just have to learn to do as you're told, and, we gotta stop the insurrectionists because they're hurting innocent people. And he says something akin to, like, spoken like a true believer. And there's good moments between these characters. They feel human. And also that Lasky is allergic to the shot for the cryo, because you have to take a shot before you go into cryo sleep, to help make sure you're okay, but it gives him an allergic reaction. So he could be honorably discharged if he so pleases this medical problem, but he does choose to stay. And throughout this whole this film, Lasky keeps watching video logs of his brother. Now, first, if you're watching it, he's watching these as these come in, but as you get further in the film, you realize that these are all archived. These are all old. He's rewatching these tapes over and over again. We learn that his brother died. One of his last messages, he's talking about how he saw his friend die, and all this stuff, and I'm sorry I haven't called you in a week. We've been fighting for 7 days straight. Da-da-da-da-da. Sad stuff. But then the added context of the fact that this has already happened, but he keeps rewatching them. Actually, my only problem, let me adjust and say, he hadn't died in those tapes, but he kept rewatching those tapes over and over again, and then he gets a message saying that, oh yeah, your brother died. And as I mentioned, the Terror of the Covenant, you really feel how terrifying they are as a faction, which you don't really feel in the games because you're Master Chief and you beat them all up. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And if you could hear that, that's a garbage truck. I can't help that. But it's really great. And what an entrance for the Master Chief. We're like, maybe an hour and 20 minutes in, we get to the part, where it's been a whole horror section. It's super quiet. There's only like 4 of the kids left, and they start running away. And this one kid that's taking point stops. And they're like, why did you stop? This kid's like 15, maybe 17 at most. Stabbed in the gut by an elite. Dead. Gone. This other girl, she literally is like, sorry guys, I'm scared, I gotta leave, I'm going, my mom's like a high-ranking official in the military, you have to let me through to the ship. So they let her through, and then the ship blows up, so she's dead. Her selfishness got her killed. It's a bad time. And then we got like these 3 to 4 kids left, and they're hiding, and the elites can go invisible. So they have to listen. Pay attention for this thing. And the guy that was kind of a bully to Lasky earlier, he tries to distract him. He gets shot down. That kid's now dead. But they all scream because they hear that. They don't mean to, but it kind of just instinctively comes out. The elite's about to kill them. It gets shanked. It falls down. Who's there? Master Chief. Awesome. What an earned entrance. It felt so good to see him. They ask how did Master Chief find him, and he says he heard his distress beacon. He's like, you chose us over all the other distress beacons? And Master Chief goes, you three are the only survivors. On the Academy? On the planet. Bro. And, so they have this whole fighting section near the end. But Susan, I don't remember what her name was in the show, but Susan from Narnia, one of the needler guns, as they're on the Warthog, gets her in the chest. And so she dies. And I mean, this happens in a lot of fiction. People die. You read an average Star Wars book, right? Canon or otherwise, and you introduce these characters who don't matter to the overall plot, and then they die, and you're like, oh, that's sad. But, that happens all the time in fiction. However, it depends on how you write it, to whether or not you care or not. So, yeah, she dies. But they've spent that time. They've given us that time as them, as humans, as people, as beings, before all this action takes place. So you actually feel it when she passes away. And Lasky feels it. And he has to deal with that. And he becomes his own man. He remembers what Chief does for him. Then we get to the end of the film, where he finally makes it out of there with Master Chief and the two other kids. The only 3 survivors on the planet. And, 2 of the Spartans, except for Master Chief, take off their helmets, and they see they're our age. Oh my God. And Master Chief ends it with, good job, soldier, or whatever. And then it cuts back to Lasky as an adult, heading on to the events of Halo 4. And it's just done so well. It is such a good little film with a low budget, but they accomplished so much. So, do I recommend this film? Absolutely. Go watch it. Is it perfect? No, but it is so good for what it is, and it is well worth your time. Until next time, guys, let's finish the fight. Bye-bye.